heard the chime, which means it's time to get started. Let me move this off the screen and let's get this program on the road. Hey, thank you everybody for typing into the text chat. First of all, it's very fascinating to see what a global audience literally we have today. I see Colombia, I see Alberta, Canada, I see Lebanon, India, Germany, and of course, even some from the United States. So it's great to have all of you here today. Now, today's presentation is by Dr. Jha, and it will be how digital parenting styles shape internet maturity in teens. That's why I asked about teens, but I guarantee whether you have teens in the home or even no teens or not, I think you're going to find this to be a very fascinating study that is a merger of cybersecurity, psychology, cyber psychology, and much more. Now, here's the agenda that we'll be following today. I'm going to share just a little bit about Capital because I know we have some in the audience who are not that familiar with our university. I have a little bit of housekeeping. I'm going to talk about the Center for Women in Cyber, who is the sponsor for this series of webinars this fall. I'll introduce the presenter and then take it away, and she will have the bulk of our time together in the presentation. After her presentation, we'll have time for questions and answers. I'll have a few more announcements, and we'll try to wrap everything up within the 60 minutes. Now, again, I'm looking at the list of attendees, and I recognize that some of you are very, very familiar with the university, but others are not. And so just to take a moment to talk about us, we were established in 1927 in Washington, D.C. That's where our name comes from, Capital Technology University. But we're coming up to our 100th anniversary, and many people don't believe that technology's been around for that long, but it has been. We're one of the very few universities in the entire nation that is specifically dedicated to STEM high-tech education. We offer degrees which are regionally accredited all the way from the associate's degree up to PhDs to the doctoral level. And programs that we do offer are covered in the program today. Now, here's some housekeeping. We'll answer questions at the conclusion of the presentation verbally, but please feel free at any time to post a question or comment into the text chat. That's the way you'll communicate to us. We'll answer as many of those as we can. We'll sweep back and try to get as many of those as we can at the end of the presentation. I'm not activating webcams and microphones for participants today for the webinar, so we really do need you to type into the text chat. A link to the recording and to the slides will be sent to all registrants, and also as a bonus for today's presentation, all registrants will also receive handouts, which I will email to you after the presentation is over. And finally, we offer participation certificates to anybody who sits in on this session, in person, live, or on demand. And in a letter at the end, in instructions at the end, I'll share how I'll get a letter out to you about that. Now, I want to talk just very briefly about the Center for Women in Cyber. This is the Cyber Leadership Series. The Center for Women in Cyber is our sponsor for 3 webinars this fall, all of which are going to be developed and presented by women who are in cyber and are also part of this organization. Capital Technology University's Center for Women in Cyber is focused on empowering individuals of all ages to pursue careers in cyber. The center seeks to address the growing need for professionals and leaders in cyber-related fields. The technology field's gender gap is very real, and it's a persistent challenge. The CWC encourages women to seek opportunities in the important and developing field of cybersecurity so that their contributions can be embraced. I have found this to be very true. Women leaders are unmatched in terms of creativity, perspective, and collaboration. We need their resources, and we need their cooperation and involvement in the cyber industry. The CWC provides the resources, direction, and positive support needed to help these women succeed. And it's passionate in its quest to develop the next generation of diverse cyber leaders. Now, again, the presentation is how digital parenting styles shape internet maturity in teens. And let me just introduce our presenter and then give her the floor for the balance of the hour. Dr. Jha is let me just read it here. She is the digital parenting expert and cyberpsychology researcher based in Raipur, India. As head of digital parenting and psychology research, let me get that right, at iMature EdTech since 2021, she has pioneered innovative work in digital citizenship and internet maturity education. Her achievements including creating a pioneering training program for parents called Digital Parent Transformation Program and co-developing the Digital Citizenship and Internet Maturity Club curriculum for schools, reflecting her commitment to helping families navigate the digital landscape. Her published works include books like Digital Parent Transformation, which came out in 2024, and Digital Citizenship and Internet Maturity Stories for Children in 2023. And she regularly shares valuable insights through her monthly e-newsletter called Psych and Cyber, where she addresses emerging topics in digital parenting, cyber psychology, and digital well-being. She holds a master's degree in psychology and counseling and is a doctor of homeopathic medicine. She's a lifetime member of the Indian School Psychology Association, the Council of India. In addition, she's a member of the American Psychological Association and a member of the Center for Women and Cyber. Now we're going to transition over to Dr. Jha. We have to move from my slide deck to hers, so bear with us as we make that happen. And I'm going to stop sharing and allow her to share at this point.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbs, for the wonderful introduction. I'm just starting my slide deck. I hope it's visible.
And you will need to expand it to full screen. And there we go. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. So, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining this talk today. I'm going to share insights from my work, and I'm going to be very eager to hear thoughts as we journey through today's presentation. So without much further ado, let's just dive into it. So there are 5 keywords that we are going to keep circling back throughout this presentation. 4 of them are right here in the title: internet maturity, digital parenting, parenting styles, and digital parenting styles. And the 5th one is my surprise for you. Consider it like a plot twist that you didn't see coming. So let's buckle up and go. Talking about buckling up. Picture this: a 16-year-old behind the wheel of a truck on a highway. Can you imagine the risks? It's wild, right? Wild even to imagine. Sure, they might know how to turn the steering wheel, how to hit the brakes, how to put on the seat belt. But would any of us actually hand a 16-year-old a truck, or any vehicle for that matter, without driving lessons, without learner's permit, without proper safety training? Of course not, we wouldn't. That would be absolutely irresponsible. Yet, every single day, we are handing devices to our children, to our teenagers and even younger children, and being very optimistic that they'll just figure it out. No training, no guidance, no teaching them the skills that they desperately need. The internet isn't just dangerous. It is like this highway where the risks are invisible and the consequences are permanent. And our children are driving without any training. The truth today is that most kids, both teenagers and younger children, are spending a considerable amount of time on the internet. We are talking about an average of 7 hours a day. That is clubbing both the academic and entertainment purposes. But 7 hours a day is a lot. And the parents are feeling really overwhelmed by this digital tsunami. As parents, we naturally want to keep our kids safe online, and we don't want them to spoil their eyesight or their posture or their health at a very young age. So we as parents try to limit their screen usage with whatever limited resources that we know of, like banning the devices, installing parental controls, and trying to monitor every single activity as if we are running a surveillance operation. But the brutal truth is that these are just band-aid solutions. None of it works long term. Bans get broken, apps get bypassed, and monitoring invariably builds resentment rather than responsibility. So we are left with the burning question: how do we actually prepare our teens for the digital world? Not control them, not restrict them, but actually prepare them. The answer is pretty simple: by teaching them internet maturity skills. So here is our first keyword: internet maturity. What is it? As defined by imature.in, internet maturity is not just being internet savvy or knowing your way around apps and software. It is the capacity to use the internet productively, safely, and ethically. This means having a profound understanding of the capabilities of the internet, knowing how to protect yourself and spot risks from a mile away, while also leveraging the power of the internet for real professional and personal growth. Let us now explore the skills that an internet mature teenager has, which the other kids don't, and how these skills translate in real life. There are three pillars of internet maturity skills. They are online safety skills, online learning skills, and online reputation skills. Think of them as a tripod that keeps everything stable. Online safety skills are when an internet mature teen can spot potential risks and threats before they become a problem. They know how to protect their personal information. They understand what to share and what to keep private, and they can navigate the digital world without falling into traps. They basically digital ninjas. The second is online learning skills. Internet mature teens have cracked the code on turning screen time into productive learning time. They know how to find credible sources and engage with educational content online, things like massive open online courses and open courseware, to enhance their education and career prospects. They are not just scrolling or watching videos mindlessly, but growing their knowledge when being online. And the third one, perhaps the most important one according to me, is the online reputation management. Internet mature teens are acutely aware that the internet has better memory than an elephant. They understand that digital footprint creates lasting impression. They get that their online reputation can impact their career prospects and their relationships, both current and future. They know that their online reputation creates the first impression in the 21st century. So they actively work on creating and managing positive online reputations. When we combine these three skills, we empower teenagers to use the internet not just safely, but strategically to their real advantage. We shall explore all of these in much more detail as we move forward. So now, how do we build internet maturity in our teens? The answer is pretty straightforward: through digital parenting. This is our second keyword from the title. Digital parenting starts the moment your child picks up their first internet-enabled device, and you, as a parent, are present in their online world in any way, big or small. You simply cannot have an internet mature teenager without being a digital parent. The critical point being your presence in their digital life. If your child is online and you don't know what they are doing, or you are not having any conversations about it, then digital parenting isn't happening. And without digital parenting, internet maturity cannot even hope to develop. The biggest problem which we are seeing these days is that most parents are becoming digital parents by accident, not by choice. They are reactive instead of proactive. They only step in when something goes wrong. And then they try to control the situation with gadget bans and other quick fix solutions that don't actually work. The real solution, and the one which is being massively neglected, is to make digital parenting a conscious and intentional decision. To be a part of your child's digital life, not to control or spy, but to guide and support. Now, Many of you might be thinking, okay, so if I'm a digital parent, my child will grow up internet mature, right? Unfortunately, it's not that simple. Being a digital parent is essential, yet it's not enough on its own. Think of it as the starting point, not the finish line. To truly raise an internet mature child, there are a few more steps that we have to take. The first one is recognizing your digital parenting style. But before we move on to the digital parenting style, let's take a step back and understand what are parenting styles. Some of you might quite be aware of what parenting styles are, but for those who do not know about this, let me tell you that parenting styles are your behavior patterns, your attitudes, and strategies that you use in raising your children. These patterns shape how your children will see rules, relationships, and even themselves. Parenting styles impact emotional development, social skills, and how kids think and learn. And most importantly, they determine how your relationship with your child will develop. Parenting styles are a well-established concept in psychology. Back in 1960s, Diana Baumrind identified three core parenting styles, that is authoritative, authoritarian, and permissive parenting styles. Then in 1983, McCoby and Martin expanded this framework to include a fourth parenting style, the uninvolved or neglectful parenting style. And in the 1990s, Klein and Fay brought helicopter parenting to the conversation. Let's quickly look at the features of each parenting style and how each one impacts the children who are growing up with them. So the first one, I request you to read the conversation beneath the picture that is there on the screen. I'll not be reading it out because we'll run out of time very quickly otherwise. So the authoritarian parenting style, I call it the my way or the highway approach. These parents, they run a tight ship. They are hard taskmasters. They have very strict rules, sky high expectations from their children, but not much warmth and flexibility. It is all about obedience and compliance with very little room for explanation and discussion, and also very little room for the child's feelings and opinions. Basically, because I said so is the only reason parents give their children for making the rules. Here, the power lies entirely with the parent, and the child just has to obey without questions. This can lead to some problematic outcomes. Like these kids, they are very good at following rules, but they struggle with anxiety and guilt, low confidence, and have zero decision making skills. They're always waiting for someone to tell them what to do. And in some cases, this can go completely opposite. The children may become estranged from their parents at a very young age. They might rebel against all forms of authority and rules, and neither of these outcomes are very desirable. The next one is the permissive parenting style. Here, the whatever makes you happy, honey approach goes with the parent. These parents are warm and loving, and they are so focused on becoming their child's friends that they forget to set boundaries. Rules are extremely flexible, basically non existent, and there are minimal consequences if sometimes the lines get crossed. This can lead to children who never develop self control. They don't know how to respect authority. They don't know how to follow rules. They have trouble in school very often and tend to act out more frequently than others. These kids also tend to develop a sense of entitlement because they've never really heard no for any of the demands at home. And again, this is not the kind of impact that we want our children to grow up with. The next is the uninvolved parent or the checked out parenting style. These parents are emotionally distant and, as the name suggests, uninvolved in their child's growth. They offer minimal guidance or support to their children. It's like they are physically present but emotionally absent. This often happens on the pretext of being extremely occupied with career or other urgent work. As a result, the children of such parents often feel abandoned and profoundly alone. They may struggle in school, withdraw emotionally, and face significantly increased behavioral and mental health risks. It's heartbreaking that these children might not form healthy attachments in their relationship as they grow up because they never got warmth and support at home while they were growing up. The next one is completely opposite of the uninvolved parent, the helicopter parent. It is the I'll fix everything for you style. These parents are extremely involved in their child's life. They hover like a helicopter around their child's head, always pushing for higher achievement and always ready to solve every single problem. Mommy knows best is their mantra. Even daddy. They often don't listen to what the child needs, nor do they wait for the child to ask for help before stepping in. This can lead to children feeling pressured, anxious, and feeling either smothered or incapable of doing stuff on their own. These children often lack confidence, they struggle with independence, and have no problem solving skills. They have serious difficulty in managing setbacks on their own because growing up, mom or dad would always swoop in to save the day. And the last one is the authoritative parenting style, the firm but fair. This is the sweet spot. These parents create a warm, supportive environment while also setting clear expectations and boundaries. They listen to their children and explain the reasons behind rules. The rules are relatively flexible and respect is flowing both ways, from the child to the parent and from the parent to the child as well. As a result, children absolutely thrive. They are happy. They are typically confident, responsible, and emotionally healthy. They know how to make good decisions because they have been trained to do that by their parents. They handle challenges well and develop strong social skills. The relationship between an authoritative parent and their child is open, trusting, and genuinely friendly, amicable. Needless to say, this is the most desirable parenting style of all, and it has been proven time and again to be the most effective in raising well adjusted children. Now we come to our fourth keyword, digital parenting styles. So you may be wondering, why am I talking about parenting styles here? Why does this matter? It matters because these traditional parenting styles don't just magically disappear when our kids go online. They carry over into the digital world where we start calling them digital parenting styles. And that was the last keyword from the title. Digital parenting styles are an extension of traditional parenting principles, but they are tailored to suit the needs of the digital world. These styles help parents to understand and manage their children's online experiences more effectively. I've developed a tool to assist parents to recognize their digital parenting style. The tool is called the Digital Parenting Hat Questionnaire. It is a self-assessment tool that empowers parents to identify their digital parenting style, offering insights into how they manage their children's interaction with technology. Before the introduction of this framework, parents often faced serious challenges in consistently and effectively guiding their children's digital journey. My work thus far has revealed that the impact of the 5 parenting styles observed in real life settings extends to the digital equivalents in the online sphere. Let me present a case study of authoritarian digital parenting accompanied by key observations relating to the remaining digital parenting styles. Let's look at the case of Maya. The name and details have been changed to safeguard the confidentiality of the child. Maya was a 16-year-old child whose parents were discovered to be authoritarian digital parents through the Digital Parenting Hat Questionnaire. She was brought to my clinic to talk about behavioral and rebellion issues. She was being very passive aggressive. She was not wanting to talk to her parents, and she was being very rude with her sibling and also bullying her younger sibling. After a detailed conversation with Maya's parents, I learned that Maya had been suspended from the school on account of online misdemeanor. Her friends had stopped talking to her because Maya regularly posted offensive jokes, joking about her friends, shocking photos of her friends, and also participated in cyberbullying very frequently. Those harmful posts were discovered by the school, and she was suspended from the school, and friends stopped talking to her. She felt abandoned. Those posts stayed online, threatening her college and career opportunities. And this is what her parents were worried about, only her career, not why the child was behaving like that. Then, after talking to Maya, I found out that she was suffering the consequences of strict rules. She told me how heavily her online life was monitored, how heavily it was controlled, and her parents wouldn't listen to her, her requirements, her needs, her motivations behind being online whenever she wanted to, which left her feeling unheard, frustrated, and it made her feel small. She felt like rules mattered more than her. So she felt overly controlled. And in order to vent her frustration, she went online and did all of those activities. It is quite clear that the authoritarian digital parenting style limited her ability to make safe, independent decisions online, and her need to be heard, to feel important enough, clouded her judgment and led her to make this immature and risky decision of bullying others and venting her frustration online. Now, let us look at what was happening with other parenting styles. With permissive digital parenting, parents set no boundaries, no rules around internet usage. They avoided confrontations and let their teens do whatever they wanted online. The result was the teens spent endless hours gaming and sharing whatever they felt like without guidance. They became victim to online scams, shared too much personal information carelessly, and developed addictions to social media validation. Academic performances went down. There was no sense of digital responsibility, and their unfiltered online presence created a very messy and unprofessional online reputation. With uninvolved digital parenting, parents were completely disconnected. They didn't know what their teens were doing online and they did not ask. There was no oversight, no conversations, no support. These teens explored the internet completely alone. They stumbled into dangerous chat rooms, faced cyberbullying, and also online grooming in some cases. And with no one to turn to, they couldn't share all of this. The isolation led to mental health struggles in most of them. With helicopter digital parenting, parents obsessively monitored every click, demanding passwords to all accounts, friending all of the teenagers' friends and contacts, and even commenting on their posts, posting embarrassing photos of the teenager as a child. So the teens felt their privacy being breached. The parents were trying to control and fix every online situation, not letting the teens navigate the digital spaces independently. And when these teens finally got their freedom when they went off to college, they crashed hard. They started making impulsive decisions, falling for scams, because they lacked the critical thinking skills to evaluate online content independently. They had been so protected that they never developed their own digital judgment. Had any of these teens been raised with authoritative parenting instead, they might have developed better self regulation, had open communication with their parents, and recovered much quicker from the incidents due to supportive guidance. So, this highlights the real dangers of unbalanced parenting and emphasizes the desperate need for balanced digital guidance. A detailed PDF with some of these cases shall be shared with you after the webinar. And then, after working with all of these cases, there was another shocking insight that developed within me, that while authoritative parenting works beautifully in real life situations and it translates quite well to digital environments as well, it has one major limitation. As a digital parenting style, it is inherently reactive. We respond to problems after they've already happened rather than preventing them from occurring in the first place. Here is a typical cycle of reaction that every authoritative digital parent falls into. A digital mishap occurs, like a scam or cyberbullying or harassment or something. The parent responds with empathy, a lot of heart-to-heart conversation, good communication, helping the child to recover from whatever shock they've gotten. Then the learning takes place from that experience, that this is what we do not need to do. The next time we will be careful. But the damage is already done. And what parents are doing is basically post-incident management, and they're doing it quite well. That is a given. They're doing it quite well. But then they are waiting for the next incident to happen before teaching them how to stay safe online and how to judge which incidents are risky, which incidents are threatening. So the teachable moment has to wait for another scam or cyberbullying to happen. This approach traps parents into a vicious cycle of reacting to problems rather than proactively preparing children for future digital challenges. And they're always one step behind. So what I understood was that parents are actually very good at having conversations about digital life these days. They listen, they empathize, and when something goes wrong, they talk it through. So communication isn't really the problem. The problem is that even the best parenting style, the authoritative digital parenting style, is reactive or responsive. These parents will wait for something to happen and then respond. It's like waiting to teach your child safety rules about crossing the street after they've nearly been hit by a car, instead of teaching them to look both ways from the very start. So, what's missing is a proactive strategy, a framework for teaching children what to watch out for before problems arise. And in the digital world, this reactive approach is genuinely dangerous. And this is exactly what led me to create the Digital Parent Transformation Program, DPTP in short. I launched this program in the year 2022 after seeing so many cases post COVID of online overuse and misuse. So I wanted to fill this critical gap. This is a completely new approach to digital parenting, and over the next few slides, I'll show you what makes it unique. But here is what you need to know right now. The Digital Parent Transformation Program doesn't help you to become a better authoritative digital parent. It transforms you into something more powerful, a digital leader parent. And here is the fifth surprise keyword that I was talking about. Let us understand the differences between an authoritative digital parent and a digital leader parent. The authoritative digital parent focuses on setting screen time rules, monitoring activities, learning safe internet usage. It's all about protection and keeping kids safe. Nothing wrong with that, but it is still quite limited. The digital leader parents takes things two steps forward. They take a different approach. Yes, they care very deeply about the safety of their children online, but they also teach creativity, problem solving, and critical thinking. Instead of just monitoring from sidelines, they are exploring the digital world with their child, co-learning and co-creating. And here is the key difference. The authoritative parent is preparing kids to avoid risks, while the digital leader parent is preparing them to navigate risks and seize opportunities. One focuses on protection only, and the other focuses on protection as well as preparation. And honestly, in a world where technology never stops evolving, it is so quick and dynamic. Our kids need more than just rules. They need adaptability. They need to become positive contributors online, not just protected users. So, how do you actually become a digital leader parent? By going through the Digital Parent Transformation Program, a journey with three major milestones that upgrades your entire digital parenting operating system. The first step is self discovery. We help you to understand your current parenting style and the unconscious patterns that are affecting your teens, like when you overreact to screen times. We help parents see whether their digital parenting matches their offline approach. In some cases, it does, and in some cases, it does not. The results are mixed. And also, a parent may have more than one parenting styles, both online and offline. The goal of this first step is to spotlight what is not working and what is causing obstacles in your teenager's internet maturity skill raising. You cannot change what you cannot see, and hence this step is crucial. We establish the starting points of the parent and discover their digital parenting style and help them to journey towards the most effective digital parenting style, that is the authoritative digital parenting style, and help them to maintain consistency in this one. Consistency is the key. Step two is mastering the authoritative digital parenting style. Once you are aware of those ineffective patterns, we start the journey towards becoming more authoritative. We build real empathy for your teen's digital life and teach you to have meaningful conversations about without triggering their defenses. No more lectures, no more arguments, just open conversations between you and your teenager about their digital life. We also help you to understand their motivations for being online so much. So it is a very different world for the digital natives than it is for us, the digital immigrants. And then the third step is proactive leadership. We give you the awareness of real online threats and risks and equip you with tools to proactively teach internet maturity skills to your child. So you stop reacting to problems and start preparing your children to handle whatever comes their way. And that is the real transformation. Now, what makes the digital parent transformation the first of its kind? No other program talks about proactive digital parenting or about educating the parents on a step by step curriculum based framework to guide their children into becoming internet mature individuals. The digital parent transformation first equips you and your children about the full spectrum of online threats and risks. Let's break this down a little. The risks are internal factors to which teenagers might unknowingly expose themselves. They can lead to issues like risk of mental and physical health problems, risk of disorientation due to addiction of screens, of watching videos, of games, etc. Risk of becoming an unintentional or unwitting cyber criminal, and risk of having a bad or no online reputation. And the threats are external dangers beyond your child's control, and their online mistakes could result in threat of physical crime due to online mistakes or oversharing, threat of cyberbullying and harassment, threat of cybercrime by hackers, and threats of brainwashing by strangers. But the DPTP doesn't just tell you about the threats and risks. It also tells you the essential skills that a teenager needs to develop in the 21st century. And not just teenagers. Actually, every student and every professional must have these skills in the 21st century. Understanding, I'm going to list out the skills. If they are given in this Venn diagram, you can take a look at that. The first one is understanding what is Web 2.0. Understanding that Web 2.0 is a two-way street. It is all about interactive online experiences where consumers can also be content creators. The second one is how to create and share digital content. Knowing how to create digital content in various formats and understanding the appropriate platforms and proper etiquette for sharing them online is essential in this 21st century. We teach the mature way of social networking, that is, learning to present yourself professionally and behave responsibly in online platforms, and mature way of professional networking as well, which is mastering the art of professional self-presentation and networking behavior on platforms like LinkedIn to unlock career opportunities and also opportunities for future further academic growth. The next is online forum discussions, which is developing the ability to participate effectively in online forums, which serves as essential knowledge sharing tool in the corporate and professional environments. Next is blogging skills for self-expression, learning to articulate your ideas, knowledge, and creativity through well-crafted blog posts, and also it could be vlogs that showcase your knowledge and expertise. Next, how to search knowledge online. Yes, this is a skill. Acquiring the smart searching techniques to effectively find valuable information, relevant information, while avoiding distractions and irrelevant content in the age of information overload. Then, how to utilize OCW and MOOC, understanding how to leverage the open courseware and massive open online courses as powerful tools for personal and professional development. How to be safe and responsible online, so online safety and cyber ethics. And last but not the least, how to create and build a positive online reputation, because maintaining a strong digital presence that reflects positively on you could lead to greater opportunities in your future. So the internet is an absolute treasure trove of opportunities, which is waiting to be unlocked. I'll pause here for a second to let you quickly glance at the list on the screen. By developing internet maturity skills, we can help the next generation unlock these opportunities, these and many, many more, like the ones which are mentioned in this list. This is not an exhaustive list. This is just a sample. So raising kids in a digital world needs intentional digital leadership, not just reacting to problems as they come up. Traditional approaches don't quite prepare our children for today's tech driven reality. And that is where the DPTP comes in, helping you to shift from putting out fires to confidently teaching your kids critical thinking, responsibility, and purposeful technology use. So basically, teaching them how not to light a fire. Together, we can empower them to thrive online as innovative and conscious creators. But the journey doesn't really have to end there. It doesn't have to end with your teenager becoming internet mature. Just like you continue to guide your grown up child about finances, about relationships, about the best health practices, etc., you can also remain their trusted digital advisor throughout their lives. Imagine the potential for growth when our kids use the internet not just as a tool, but as a platform for positive change. And I'm not talking only about professional growth. I'm talking about our kids growing up as well rounded, wholesome adults with high emotional quotient, sound values, good physical and emotional health, along with strong and sweet relationships, leading to a content and well lived life. Isn't that what we all want? And now, as we near the end of the presentation, I'd like to introduce 3 additional assessments I've developed to make the digital parent transformation even more effective. These are proprietary tools that provide a complete picture of the digital parenting scenario and internet maturity. Beyond the digital parenting hat questionnaire, which we have already discussed, there are 3 new assessments, and this is the first time I'm introducing them to the world. The second one is the parent digital usage assessment. This measures how consistently the parents model the right digital behavior because kids learn more from what we do than what we say. The next one is the children's digital parenting perspective, which captures your teen's actual experience when it comes to how they perceive their digital interactions with you. We directly learn from them how they perceive it. This is where a lot of parents find their assumptions shattering. And the last one is teenagers' internet maturity assessment, which pinpoints specific competency gaps in the teens' digital skills and tracks their progress after the DPTP has been employed. If you would like to take any of these assessments and be a part of our ongoing research, please feel free to write to me. Mr. Gibbs has already sufficiently talked about my publications. I just wanted to give a very colorful picture here. So the first publication or research that I launched was the Digital Parent Transformation Program in 2022 after more than a year of research and fieldwork. Then the book evolved into the Digital Parent Transformation book, A Journey from Digital Parent to Digital Leader. I'm sorry, the program evolved into the book. And this features detailed psychological analysis of the real life cases and extensive insights into the threats, risks, and opportunities. It is both a comprehensive extension of the training program as well as a standalone resource. In 2023, as Mr. Gibbs already said, digital citizenship and internet maturity stories for children had been launched. It is a fun little project that I took up. Unique bedtime stories that introduce 21st century life values through fun tales for children. Much like Aesop's fables and Panchatantra stories that we grew up with when we were children, which taught us moral codes. And a more nuanced version of this book is coming out very soon. Just this September, last month, I released the book, The Psychological Impact of Digital Life. It aims to raise awareness about the psychological effects of constant digital exposure, empowering readers to protect their mental well being and build resilience. And an upcoming book, Minds in Formation, is set for December release. It explores the impact of technology across the developmental stages of humans. I also run a monthly e-newsletter by the name of Psyche and Cyber, where we discuss the most timely and urgent topics related to cyber psychology. And in September 2025, we completed 1 year of the newsletter. And to celebrate this milestone, I'm launching a podcast by the same name, Psyche and Cyber Podcast, also based in the cyber psychology domain. The first episode releasing by the end of this month on YouTube. The link is live and ready for subscription. I'm always looking for new connections and collaborations. And if any of these collaboration or connection opportunities listed on the screen resonate with you, please feel free to talk with me. The contact details will be with you after the presentation. You are welcome to join the podcast, the newsletter, and also join the AI Readiness Skills Mission, which is going on at iMature along with Humans Winning AI, the white paper of which will be shared with you after the presentation. You're free to volunteer for the test and collaborate to expand the DPTP as a training program for educators, parents, families, and teenagers across borders. Here are my contact details. I'm sure that these will be shared later on. So I sincerely thank you all for being here today to hear me out on this topic, which I'm deeply passionate about, and I hope your time was well spent. I'm going to take this opportunity and extend my gratefulness for my gratitude to Professor Mary Icon, who doesn't even know the ways in which she has inspired me and ignited the spark in me for cyber psychology. Her books, her works, they are truly awesome. And I would also wish to extend my gratitude to Mr. Raghu Pandey, who's my mentor, who fueled this passion for my research in cyber psychology and digital parenting and entrusted me to lead these efforts in his organization. And finally, a heartfelt thanks to Capital Technology University and CWC for giving me this opportunity, and also to Mr. Gibbs for organizing these wonderful webinars, for his patience, for his energy, and his dedicated support throughout. Thank you so much, everybody. And with this, I hand over the session to Mr. Gibbs.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Jha. It's thank you for those kind words. And I see that your mentor is here with us, and so thank him for that. Now, let me take a moment to switch over to my slide deck. So bear with us as we do that, and then we will go on with the Q&A. Okay, we're back with my slides, and I see that there are a couple of questions here. So let's go ahead and do that. If you have a question, we're operating with a great, we're right on time. It's a great schedule that we've got here today. And so let's start with the one from Edid Ong. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. I know I did. But how can schools and community organizations scaffold parents toward digital leadership, especially when tech literacy gaps exist? What models have you seen work? And lastly, thinking long-term, how do you help kids internalize digital leadership values themselves so they're not just protected, but empowered? Excellent question there. And I'm sure you can see the text chat as well, so you can read it over and respond to that. I think you're muted.
I'm sorry. It was a very long question. Could you break it down in chunks so that I can answer it?
Yes,
well?
I think that the first question really is multiple questions. The first question is, what can schools and community organizations do? Your presentation, of course, is directed toward parents, but
Yes.
the children also spend many hours a day at school, and teachers have a dramatic impact on their lives. So I notice you have this actually operating in some schools already, and curriculums in some schools, all right?
Yes, yes. We do have the DCIM club that we have employed in many schools across India, and many major schools are actually doing it in their schools. So we prepare a team of teachers as well as students in the school, and the curriculum starts. It's a DIY toolkit, and it's also free of cost right now because it is still, we're trying to spread the word as much as we can. And iMature has the rights to it, of course. I was a co-creator in it. And yes, this program, this DCIM School Club is basically meant for the school administration, the teachers, and the students. And we give them the hand-holding to actually become more not tech savvy, but responsible tech users. And all the three pillars of internet maturity, the online safety skills, the online learning skills, and the online reputation skills, they are taught hands-on through this curriculum. So this is something that we already have, and we also have these similar kind of programs. This is basically for parenting, but these are also meant for educators as well as counselors and mental health experts. So we are already doing that.
All right, thank you. And by the way, I'm not sure that we're seeing you. I can see you on video, but I do not.
Okay.
I think that you need to switch on your camera on your computer as well and see if that will help.
Um,
May not
yeah,
work. May
my
We've had a little
camera
bit of
is
folks, we had a little bit of technical difficulties with the video, and so Dr. Jha has been using her telephone, but for some reason her actual video is not showing up. The slides do, thank goodness. Let's continue on while you work on that. Jennifer asks a question. It's a longer answer, but and Jennifer, thank you for those comments. But toward the end, she asks, do you plan to conduct a longitudinal study in some way to measure improvement? Jennifer, you sound like you must be a doctoral student or recently completed a doctoral dissertation when you talk about longitudinal studies. So anyway, are you doing any research that would conduct to look at improvement as a result of your efforts?
Yes, as a matter of fact, the teenagers internet maturity assessment that I have recently just prepared and launched is meant for the same thing, because I found that there is a gap in actually figuring out whether internet maturity has been developed in a child or not. We are employing the DPTP, we are making people aware, and everything is happening. But how do we know that we have improved from where we started? So this third test, that the fourth test that I have recently developed, measures that. So it is definitely going to be a longitudinal study. We are still in a research phase. I would say the program is there. We feel that the program is, I would say, 98% perfect, because there's always room for some improvement. Um, so yes, the program is there, and all of these insights, all of these parenting techniques and communication and digital leadership, it spills over to the AI readiness of parents and children as well. But we do have a measurement tool now to conduct this longitudinal study and see how the child is improving in their internet maturity and in their online usage. So yes,
Thank
we do have that.
Great, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and those were the two main questions, and I want to give a shout out to Jennifer. Jennifer, I recognized your name once I looked at it, that you are a student at CapTechU working on your DSC in cybersecurity. So congratulations on that, and good luck to you as you complete that program. We're going to go ahead and advance this. I want to stay right on time. We have one more webinar that's part of the Cyber Leadership Series. That is in November with Dr. Emily Barnes, talking about artificial intelligence and women. Miss AI, this is your moment. I think you'll enjoy this presentation. Then we end the Cyber Leadership Series, and we begin with our normal webinars in January with Dr. Rob Shaw, Critical Information Infrastructure Protection and Cybersecurity in New York State. That is actually the short titles. So don't ask me to say the long title for this, but I think it'll be a very interesting presentation in that he's dealing with the state of New York with real problems having to do with the infrastructure protection, cybersecurity protection, something on the minds of us all the time. And he'll be giving examples of the work that he's doing. So two great webinars. And of course, for all webinars, we'll be sending out emails, but you can also register yourself at the website listed here. And I'll be sending these slides to everybody. Now, as we come up toward the conclusion of our presentation today, I just want to mention that we actually offer degrees in cyber psychology, not specifically in what Dr. Jha is offering, but we do offer degrees in cyber psychology. Our chair for that is Dr. Mary Aiken, who Dr. Jha just mentioned. And but we enjoyed the opportunity to expose our courses to individuals and our programs. Now, we're nearly done. A copy of the slides and a link to the recording will be sent to everybody, and as a special bonus this time, we're also sending handouts out that Dr. Jha has prepared. You'll get all of that in your email. A certificate of completion is available to anyone attending these webinars, both in person and on demand. Simply reply to the email that you want a certificate, and I will make sure that you get one. That's it. Thank you very much for joining us. We're right on schedule. Watch for that follow-up email. It'll show you how to get a participation certificate, and you will get a link to the recording, a link to the slides, and some presentation handouts so you can further the discussion. In the slides will be all the contact information for Dr. Jha. So if you want to continue the conversation, you'll be able to do that. And I do want to offer a quick apology. I mentioned that I said it was Psych and Cyber, but the actual name of the publication is Psyche and Cyber, after the Greek goddess Psyche. So my apologies for mispronouncing that. I'm glad for the education. I'm very used to cyber psychology and cyber psych, but not cyber and psyche. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody. It's been a great joy to have you all here. Have a great afternoon, and we wish you well. And again, thank you from all across the world for joining us today. With that, we will wrap it up, and this concludes the session.
Thank you, and good night from India.
You bet.